Hello, this is Joe83, and as you can see, we are here with My Team F1 2020 career mode, and we are starting it with Team Lotus, which is one of the most successful teams in Formula 1 history, all through the 60s and 70s. You've got the likes of Jim Clark, Emerson Fittipaldi. Obviously, later on, they came back with the likes of Kimi Raikkonen and Romain Grosjean. Like, it's a team with very, very steep history, and we are back with a Lotus F1 car. Here we are. It's you can see from the little intro there, a nice little green and white number with the little gold highlights, and just going through all the new stuff. I've not done a career mode properly like this. Well, at least for 2 years. Probably like F1 2016 was the last time I was properly in-depth career mode. So it's a lot has changed since then, as you can probably imagine. I was doing some R&D stuff, which is, yeah, completely different to what I'm used to. And the depth of this mode is incredible. Like, Comas has done a great job with this mode, to be fair. I've only done one race so far, but I can already tell it's going to be really successful. And yeah, here we are for the practice programs, track optimization, which we do to try and get more resource points and everything. And it's going to be a purple score. I think we got quite mostly purple in each the corners, and yes, it is by 20 points there. And then this is the tyre wear test. So I think, yeah, you've got to beat the target time with not wearing your tyres out too much. And we're going to do it quite easily into the purple score there through the final corner, and it's second up on the time as well, so pretty decent. For me, I'm on the wheel again on this game, and also I run fully no assist, no line, as you can see, and the AI was set to 101 difficulty, and as you can see, fuel wear test here, we were only just down on the time, and then down the straight we got the straight line speed boost, and actually just about beat it and got 30 more points there. So yeah, that's my my driving. I'm not great at the game. I'm above average, I would say, and I'm going to do league racing and everything. But here we are in qualifying in the nice green Lotus team. My teammate actually was Delatraz. I forgot to go through that sort of thing, but I chose the Mercedes power unit. The sponsor I went for was basically the one that offered the highest bonus. So we've got to get 25 points throughout the season, which might be quite difficult, but I thought might as well go for it. And if we fail, then we'll go into administration. Who really cares? But yeah, you can see my first lap in Q1 actually left me behind Delatraz, who my teammate is. I wanted to pick Guan Yu Zhou as he's my favourite F2 driver, but he didn't come up with my options. So Louis Delatraz was the most sensible one, I think, to go for the price. Obviously, you only have him for like half a season anyway. So yeah, this is my lap in Q1. My first aim really was to get out of Q1. Obviously, beat your teammate is the primary aim, but I was hoping that we'd have the pace to get out of Q1. Coming around the final corner here, we are 7/10 up on the previous time. And it's going to be a high 21.8 there, which was just about good enough to get into Q2 in 14th place. Obviously, the top 16 go through, the bottom 6 go out. It's slightly different to real life because obviously we're the extra team. And now Q2, my first lap I had to do on used tyres, so it was absolutely abysmal. And yeah, left me in 16th place and last. I'm not expecting to get in 2-3 at all. The car is the second slowest, just ahead of Williams and a little bit behind AlphaTauri. So yeah, we've done quite well to get this far. But you can see this last lap in Q2, it was very good actually. I was quite happy with this lap. It is going to be an improvement, as you can tell already. We're 1.1 seconds up, going through turn 8. I think this is taking not as much curb as we could do. But it said on the sector split, I was actually up on Magnussen's time on the top left there, which is quite impressive really, because I didn't think I'd be that quick. And coming through the middle sector here, 1.5 seconds up now. There's no ERS management this year. All you can really do in qualifying is just leave it in hot lap. Obviously, last year we'd be flicking between hot lap and high and overtake, and it was a bit of a mess, really. So I'm very happy with that little change. And the driving feels so much better as well. The car feels so planted. Like, I was a big fan of last year's game, but this year's game is just a massive step up in the handling and the in-depth of everything. So you can see coming through the final few corners now at the last sector, and we're 1.5 seconds up. It's not been a fantastic final sector, but through the second last corner, the second gear, a little bit wide on entry, and you can see the front just not really gripping up, and the back end dancing a little bit all over the place. And now coming up to the line, it's going to be a big improvement. Where would it put me on the grid? And it's P13 actually, which I was very happy with. I was quite surprised. My teammate Delatraz was out in Q1 in 20th, so we've done very well to get this far. You can see Raikkonen, Sainz, Giovinazzi, myself, and the 2 Racing Points, who are not as quick as they are in real life, are down in 15th and 16th. But I would very happily take 14th place. And here on the grid, you can see it's actually 13th place, because I don't quite know how, but Daniel Ricciardo had a 10th-place penalty. I assume for changing power units, but I don't know why the AI would choose to change power units that quickly, but you never know, Renault really. And I opted to start on the medium tyres. compared to everyone else on the softs. But here we are for 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix, the first round of my team, and it's lights out and away we go. It's quite a short hold there, and the lights sequence is a lot quicker this year. But Giovinazzi's got a good start ahead of me. Science is bogged down a little bit. I've got an okay start, but going into turn 1 now, just trying to keep my nose clean. Giovinazzi hasn't done that. Lost a bit of an end plate there, I think it was, and I've gone over the curb, lost the back end. The Stroll has gone flying around me outside, up into 13th place, and Perez is looking to go past as well, but we're in overtake mode. Try to send it back on Perez into turn 3. We need to keep as much position as we can. Absolutely sending it on Stroll as well. Everyone's sort of concertinaing up, and Stroll is just about around my outside. Can we try and hold this around the outside of turn 4? He hits me a bit wide. I'm going to go over the curb, almost beat it on the curb there. That would have been very poor, but we've somehow held off both of the Racing Point cars, and we're still in 13th place. But you can see the gap already to Sainz has grown massively because of that mistake. I don't know how Stroll didn't get past me, to be honest. But we saw at the start that Giovinazzi got a little bit of damage, it looked like. So if I can keep the pace up, he should be able to start falling back into me, which is exactly what happened. Giovinazzi in 12th place, lost place to Sainz. I'm going a bit wide there, losing the back end slightly. But you can see we've got a little bit of pace. Obviously, we're training up the Racing Points and the Alpha Tauri's. A lot of new team names there for me to get used to. But we're also closing on Giovinazzi. The dirty air in this game is very realistic as well, so it's quite hard to push in this sort of dirty air. But more pressingly, we've got Stroll on the move. He's going to go up the inside of this next corner, break in late. Stroll's up the inside, got leaving space on the apex, but we just about to do that and hang around the outside and get the better run, staying in 13th place. But these drivers all behind me are on softs as well. I decided to go on mediums just for something different. You can see lap 5, 1 lap later, Giovinazzi still just ahead of me in the DRS range now. Rich in overtake mode down towards the turn 12, and Giovinazzi brakes quite early. I'm going to hit his back end very slightly. No damage done, very luckily. Losing the back end loads though on exit, and Stroll's going to go around the outside of the next corner. 4th gear, try and force him out, and that should be fairly straightforward, and yes it is. So staying in 13th place for now, but you can see the gap is starting to emerge to Sainz and Magnussen ahead. So looks like points are already off the cards really, but getting a massive slide through the final corner as well. That wasn't too good. And now 1 lap later, lap 6, and Giovinazzi still just ahead of me. Got a bit wide through the first one. Taking the second apex nicely though. Stroll's up the inside though, almost forced him into the wall there, but he's got a great run. And we're going to have to send it round the outside. That is unbelievably late braking, and we just about held it again round the outside of Stroll, so I'm very happy with these defensive moves that I'm pulling off. But Giovinazzi is really being a bit of a cork in the bottle, because I think I had the pace to pull away, but the dirty air effect, and this car has such little downforce that it's so difficult to pass and get the good exits, especially at Melbourne, where it's a difficult circuit to overtake at the best of times. But now at lap 8, down towards the chicane, we're trying to get close enough to Giovinazzi to use the DRS in the next little straight, and taking the first apex nightly, clipping the second apex quite a lot there, and now down towards the next corner, Rich in overtake mode, DRS wide open, Giovinazzi going a bit defensive, but there's a gap there, we're going to go for it, and down the inside into turn 12, and down to 3rd gear, taking that position pretty easily. And now I've got a bolt for it, because obviously Perez and Stroll are going to be trying to get past as well. So, but we're going to have a quick look at the race start again, because we want to see what happened to Giovinazzi and to myself. But it's fairly straightforward. Nothing really major happened until you can see in the background there, I was in the green car in the middle. Giovinazzi, I think, hit the back of his teammate Raikkonen, lost an end plate, and then stayed out the whole first stint because it wasn't obviously severe enough to go into the pits. And Bottas also was absolutely gone on that. It was Bottas running 2 Ferraris at the start there, but now you can see lap 11 just going on to, I think, the Racing Points have pit for their hard tyres, and Sebastian Vettel has also pit and come out just ahead of me. Leclerc also is behind me in the Ferrari. We're going a little bit longer being on those mediums, but I'm still going to do a 1 stop onto hards. But Leclerc now up the inside. I don't really want to fight him because obviously we're on completely different strategies. He's already a pit stop ahead of me, so there's not really much point. Same with Lewis Hamilton in 8th as well. You can see on the top left there, but Leclerc at the inside of the next chicane, and Daniel Kvyat's actually out of the race, and there's a safety car deployed. That is playing into my hands perfectly, because obviously the likes of the Racing Points and the Alpha Tauris would have had an undercut on me pitting a bit earlier, but now I can pit this lap under safety car, and I shouldn't lose too much time really, as we effectively get a free pit stop. So we're going to pit in on this lap for the hard tyres. The strategy really paying off, because on the softs you can only really go 9 or 10 laps, but I went that 1 lap longer. Perez also stayed out actually, so he's going to pit now as well. In the pink crew there, you can see him coming out of the garage, and now right at the end of the pit lane in the green suits, looking a bit like aliens to be honest, but now in the pits for 2.7 seconds, not bad for a new team. And you see Magnussen going through there, but we're going to rejoin the track, I think, in 12th place. This is my teammate Delatraz actually on the minimap on the soft tyres, who's on a 2-stop strategy, and we're trying to hold him off into turn 1. It's going to be very, very close. It's important to keep ahead of him though, and we just about do. And Delatraz has to back out for now. But my teammate doing a decent job there, getting some good track position, but obviously he's going to have to pit an extra time than everyone else, which is a bit of a problem. But the safety car restart now, 12th place, and you can see Magnussen and Science just ahead. But through the final corner, my tyres are not really up to temperature, losing a lot of grip, and Delachaz obviously has those softs. I'm on very new hards, which are not up to temperature at all. So Delachaz is going to have a chance now to turn 1. Is he going to go for it? Not on this occasion, as obviously it's a bit of a weird dynamic because the My Team mode, I'm his teammate and boss in a way, but I've got a massive tank slapper on the exit of turn 2. He's going to go to the outside line. I've got to try and keep him behind because I need this position really. I think I've got more pace in the long run, and we just about hold him off at turn 3 there. But Delachaz showing a bit of fight, which I like to see, but also over that curve again, like we did in lap 1, but this time don't lose much time because of it. But you can see Magnussen is absolutely bolted, and you can see lap 17 now, quite a bit later. The gap to Magnussen is 1.6 seconds. I had a big gap to Ricciardo behind me, but that gap to Magnussen was coming down very gradually. The 1.3 seconds on the next lap there. We've got about 3 or 4 tenths a lap. And now 1 lap later again, 1.2 seconds now, so another 2 tenths. And we were closing on Magnussen. I was so surprised at the pace that this car had on the hard tyres. And you can see in the chicane, I actually had DRS on lap 19, later in the same lap. 7 tenths of a second now behind Magnussen, and that's for 11th place. And if a driver in the top 10 retires from the race, that's for a point, which is not what I expected at all in this first race. As a brand new team, you sort of expect to be trailing around at the back, but not on this occasion. Lotus are here for the business, and now DRS open on lap 20, coming into lap 21 now. 3 tenths of a second to Magnussen. We're not close enough for moving to turn 1, but we might be close enough for turn 3 if I can line it up well. Taking a lot of apex curb on the turn 1 and getting a good exit, but not quite good enough because the back end sort of slides all over the place when you're dirty. Yeah, but this time with Magnussen, he's going defensive, can't go to the inside, going to try and switch to the outside, but he breaks quite late there. I can't swing it around the outside. And Magnussen just about holds that off. But you can see also Ricciardo is only 3 seconds behind after that grid penalty he had coming from the back of the grid. Lap 23 now, not close enough this occasion. 3 laps later this is. Ricciardo closing in as well, so yeah, that's one to keep an eye on because I think that Renault has more pace than both of us really, if we're being honest. Almost in the wall there on the exit of turn 5 as well, but not quite. And now coming down towards middle sector, Magnussen just ahead of me. I was very confident in this corner especially, and there is a little bit of a mistake there from the AI of Magnussen, which is really good to see because I don't think AI make mistakes on previous games, but we're close enough for a move now into turn 6, sending it down the inside of Magnussen and just about trying to get it slowed down, but not quite. And that was yeah, I'm glad I tried something because if I was going to trail around in 12th, I'd have been very frustrated. But yeah, we tried it, didn't quite pay off, and now a few laps later you can see we lost DRS again to Magnussen because of that mistake. And also Ricciardo's only 1.1 behind, so it's maybe Vettel's out of the race. So exactly what I was saying, if a top 10 car retires, this is now for a point. So yeah, we've got to try and get back in that DRS and overtake Magnussen for that 10th place because Vettel was ahead of us both. And yeah, we've also got to try and hold off Ricciardo, which is going to be a very tall order, but we've not got much fuel at ERS to play with. But now, coming on to the final lap of the race, some amazing pace from this car, and we've got back in the DRS off Kevin Magnussen, and trying to take a lot of curb on next turn 1 again, and we've seen that he's not very strong in this first sector. I don't think I'm close enough for moving to turn 1, but you can see Ricciardo also 3 tenths behind me, so this is going to be attacking and defending, but really we've got to try and go for something on this last lap to try and get a 10th place. There is a point for the taking, and we might not get too many opportunities this season, so we've got to try and take them when they come. And here comes through turn 5 now, down towards turn 6, and Magnussen just ahead of me. Is he going to make the same mistake as before through here on the braking traction? No, he hasn't. Got a good exit there actually. But we've got a little bit of ERS. We've got 15%, but you can see how quickly the overtake mode drains it. It's just insanely quick. And down towards the chicane. It actually started raining as well, which just to throw another roll of the dice in there. And now Magnussen got a good exit there. Unfortunately, my tyres were not looking too good at this stage either. And now we've got to try and absolutely nail this chicane and get a good run of Magnussen now down towards turn 12 and through turn 10 and 11, trying to take a lot of apex curb. Valtteri Bottas won the race, but that is not what this is about. We're in this situation. Magnussen, he's saving ERS. We're going to go down the inside, and can we make the stick for 10th place? And it's going to be so close on the exit, but Magnussen gets a little bit extra traction than me on the outside line. We'll try to send it again, but not quite. Unfortunately, it's going to be 11th, it looks like, unless something catastrophic happens now. But I cannot complain about that. It was a very fun race, very intense start to push the whole time to try and keep up with Magnussen. And if we can show that pace throughout the season, I'm sure more opportunities will come up to score points. But unfortunately, we've just missed out, and it's 11th place on my debut race with Lotus F1 Team. And yeah, very, very exciting. And you see Bottas won the race in the end from Leclerc and Hamilton. Sebastian Vettel obviously retired, which is why he's not there. Norris got best of the rest, and then yeah, you can see the rest of the top 10 there. And I was 11th place, 30 seconds off the lead, which isn't terrible, although when you think about the safety car happening around lap 10, it is quite bad. But then Delachaz there in 19th place. I don't expect much from him, to be honest. I think early as we can, we'll try and replace him with someone a bit better if we have a bit of money. And yeah, onto the standings. Obviously, the driver standings is the same as the race results as race one. The constructors, we are the highest placed team who haven't scored points yet, which I think is something to be very proud of, obviously. And yeah, coming into the rest of the little things at the end of the race, then that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you want to see more of this, then leave a like, comments, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and bring it out as regularly as I can, and for as many seasons as I can as well. And that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been J83, and I will see you next time.